Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. Today, I will be presenting my special topic 2, titled Revisiting Supply Chain Risk Management Framework. This project was supervised by Dr. William Ho, and it's going to be a systematic literature review. This special topic 2 is part of a study that leveraged systematic literature review and scholarly network analysis. In systematic literature review, we synthesize and integrate the literature to get insight about the trend in publication, supply chain risk definition and type, supply chain risk management process, and supporting process of supply chain risk management. Whereas in scholarly network analysis, we analyze bibliometric details of our data to understand emerging topic and research collaborator in supply chain risk management. As the scope is quite big, we split the project into special topic 1, special topic 2, and research report. Finally, all results will be combined together into one publishable articles. For today, we are going to focus on special topic 2, a systematic literature review, examining supply chain risk management process and supporting process. Ho et al. In 2015 proposed a supply chain risk management framework. It depicts type of risks in the triangle shape, consists of macro risks that can be man-made or natural, and macro risks that can be supply, manufacture, demand, transportation, financial, or information. These risks managed through a four-stage cycle starting from risk identification, assessment, mitigation, and monitoring. The cycle has to be done continuously, involving all supply chain members. The big question is, after almost a decade of development, is this framework still valid? To answer that, we disassembled the framework into two parts, the supply chain risk typology and then the supply chain risk management cycle. In the supply chain risk typology, our literature review in special topic 1 led to an updated version to include motif, that is intentional or unintentional risks, and sustainability aspects, that is social, environmental, and financial, as a risk typology. In the supply chain risk management cycle, our literature review in special topic 2 will answer 3 questions on whether the cycle needs to be updated, what are the underlying process of each stage in the cycles, and what are the supporting process of practice surrounding the cycle that keep the cycle moving effectively and efficiently. The next slide will discuss our analysis on answering those questions. To answer that question, we collect articles related to supply chain risk management. Our research was performed in Scopus using supply chain risk as the keyword. The search period was limited from 2013 to 2020 to provide a continuation of study from Ho et al. 2015 that come up with the current supply chain risk management framework. The initial search result was around 4,089 articles. This result then screened based on the journal ranking, in which we only select articles that publish in A or A star journal of ABDC list and 3 or 4-star journal of ABS list. Further, we screen the abstract relevance and the full paper review to ensure all final articles are relevant to the study. In total, we discarded 3,555 articles and settled in with 231 articles for final review of supply chain risk management cycle, underlying process, and supporting practice for supply chain risk management excellency. For the first analysis, for supply chain risk management cycle, our data suggests that the number of articles discussing identification, assessment, and mitigation stage of supply chain risk management cycle is continuously increasing. However, very few articles discussing the risk monitoring stage. This makes us question whether researchers are really not interested in monitoring stage, it is not important, or the monitoring stage actually embedded in other stages and have been discussed there in details. To answer that, we look at the conceptual relationship between monitoring and other stages, specifically monitoring and identification. Conceptually, monitoring is about being aware of the current state of the internal and external supply chain to recognize any anomaly from that state. whereas identification is about understanding the characteristic of that anomaly. Both processes have a common goal, that is a collection of information for risk assessment and mitigations. In that view, it is logical that the monitoring process is embedded as a critical underlying process in identifications. Based on this idea, we check our data and we found that empirically, our data revealed that within 27 articles on risk identifications, 16 articles have shown on an embedded monitoring stage in the process. Example of this embeddedness is shown by Go 2015, which mentioned collaborative forecasting as a single practice early warning system that monitors supply chain risks and eventually identify potential risks. Therefore, we propose a three-stage cycle of supply chain risk management as the new cycle compared to the previous one. Now we have a brand new three-stage supply chain risk management cycle. However, we still do not understand what is the underlying process of each stage. What are the aspects of holistic risk monitoring and identification, risk assessment, and risk mitigations? To answer that, we look at articles discussing each stage and identify the approach or strategy they are proposing in each stage. We analyze that to see whether there is a pattern of process in each stage. First, article discussing risk monitoring and identification propose 7 approaches for risk monitoring and identification. Looking at the approach in detail, we can group them into 3 different categories based on the object of monitoring and identifications. The first group focus on monitoring external environment and identify risks coming from that external environment. The second group monitor the status of supply chain structure and flow, as well as identifying risks coming from that. Finally, the third group focus on monitoring the status of supply chain performance in terms of economic, social, and environment, as well as identifying risks that coming from anomaly in that performance parameters. Similarly, article discussing risk assessment propose various approaches for risk assessment. Looking at the approach in detail, we can group them into 3 different categories based on the object of the assessment. The first group of approach focus on assessing the probability. The second group of approach assess the mechanism of disruption, how disruption will impact supply chain performance. Finally, the third group of approach assess the value of impact on supply chain performance when the risk materialize into real disruptions. An interesting point here is presented in the second group of approach that assess the mechanism of disruptions. It signals that supply chain risk management scholars have moved from a traditional way in assessing risk, focusing on probability and value only, but they now complement that view with assessing the mechanism of disruption to understand which risk that is considered as a local risk and which risk that is considered as a systemic risk to the supply chain. This is important to differentiate risks that can be treated individually with risks that should be treated collectively with all supply chain members. Finally, article discussing risk mitigation propose various approaches for risk mitigation. Looking at the approach in detail, we also can group them into 3 different categories based on the goal of risk mitigation strategy. The first group of approach focus on eliminate or limiting the probability of risk to happen. The second group of approach mitigate the risk propagation along the supply chain. This strategy focus on how localize risk and keep it at certain segments so it won't disrupt the whole supply chain. Finally, the third group of approach focus on absorbing the impact of disruptions. Based on the previous analysis, we come up with a new supply chain risk management framework that outline the underlying process in each stage of that framework. Our idea is to give guidance to organizations to ensure a holistic supply chain risk management practice. Whatever strategy developed by an organization, it should cover 3-stage supply chain risk management cycle and the underlying process in each of those stages. For example, organization can select and combine any approach for risk monitoring and identification. However, it needs to ensure that those strategies cover the monitoring and identification of risks coming from external environment, risk coming from supply chain structure and status, and risk coming from supply chain performance to enable a holistic risk monitoring and identifications. Similarly, organization can select and comment any approach for risk assessment. However, it needs to ensure that those strategies cover the assessment of risk probability, assessment of mechanism of destruction, and assessment of the value of impact to enable a holistic risk assessment. So that's the risk mitigation stage. Organization can select and combine any strategies for risk mitigation. However, it needs to ensure that those strategies cover the elimination or limitation of risk probability, prevention of risk propagations, and absorption of risk impact to enable a holistic risk mitigation. Together with risk typology, metrics that we develop in special topic 1, we propose this new framework as an updated framework from the current framework presented by Ho et al. In 2015. Our framework is more detailed, but still simple and parsimonious. Following that, we found that there are 43 articles examined topics that are indirectly related to supply chain risk management strategies. We analyzed this article and come up with 6 pillars that support the supply chain risk management practice. The first pillar is allocating resources. This topic is critical because all stages in supply chain risk management at least require some sort of physical system in the whole supply chain, which require firm to invest its capital. Also, it is worth noting that resources are not strictly limited to finance or other tangible resources. It can be intangible resources such as cognitive ability. Allocating enough resources will support the supply chain risk management practice. The second pillar is linking technology with supply chain risk management. Supply chain risk management is actually an information processing activities that rely on the ability to collect information and manage that information. Technology will be beneficial as it enables large-scale data collection and data analysis to identify risks. The third pillar is selecting optimum strategies. Strategy have contextual factors that moderate the outcome, so there's no one strategy fit all. Hence, it is essential to measure the contextual fitness of the strategies and select the best strategy to obtain the optimum result in supply chain risk management practice. The fourth pillar is understanding relationship between strategies. Understanding this interrelationship enables firms to develop a holistic supply chain risk management by considering global optimization instead of local optimization only. The fifth pillar is measuring supply chain risk management capabilities. Measuring supply chain risk management capabilities will prevent firms from having an overshoot or undershoot supply chain risk management capabilities. Therefore, firms can manage resources wisely related to supply chain risk management. Once they have achieved optimum level, they don't have to pour more resources. How to know they have achieved the maximum level? They should measure the supply chain risk management capabilities. The sixth pillar is identifying moderating factor of supply chain risk management capability. Understanding contingency factor is critical in achieving optimum supply chain risk management. Firm can tweak these factors to leverage the supply chain risk management capabilities. In conclusions, our study focused on revisiting the supply chain risk management framework by updating the supply chain risk typology and the supply chain risk management cycle. For supply chain risk typology, we have developed a new risk typology metric that incorporates source, motive, and sustainability goals as parameters to classify risks. Previous framework does not incorporate these parameters. For supply chain risk management cycle, we have updated the current supply chain risk management cycle to be more detailed, yet parsimonious enough. Also, we reveal 6 supporting pillars to enhance supply chain risk management excellency. As a result, all this framework increase clarity for practitioners that want to develop the supply chain risk management practice. Thank you very much. Any feedback are welcome.